everyone, and welcome to this week's Business Showcase. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Helen from Margaret River Consulting. Now, Helen has over 15 years experience in human resources and a passion for digital marketing, which she's going to tell us today how they go hand in hand. And you may have heard of Helen as she is involved in a number of community groups and initiatives. So thank you, Helen, for joining me today.
Thanks, Louise.
So tell me, how was Margaret River Consulting born?
Okay, so I actually started the business when COVID kicked off. I had some friends who have businesses in Perth, and they reached out to me to help support them from a business perspective, from a HR perspective, and also to help with some of their digital marketing with their websites and their social media. So COVID's actually been quite good for me because, yeah, it allowed me to start this business. I really sort of kicked it off this year, in March this year. I was doing some work for another organisation, and just a bit of a misalignment between values and priorities, and I decided, no, I'm going to give this a go full time. So here I am. And what are we now? So July, so been going a couple of months, got quite a few regular clients now. I've actually had to split my business. So I have two businesses. So one is Margaret River Consulting, which does human resources and business management. And I have another business called Apricot Innc, which deals with digital marketing, including websites, social media, newsletters, and a little bit of branding. So the last 15 months have been quite challenging and quite a journey. And that's how I ended up to where I am today.
So tell me, what led to splitting your business essentially into two?
Yeah, so my passion is employer branding, which is marketing a brand as an employer of choice. It's a relatively new sort of area, and it half sits within the HR space and it half sits within the marketing space. I've found that when I was talking to clients about this, they got really confused about, well, how does HR and marketing actually work together, and why are you trying to position yourself like that in the market? Why don't you actually separate it? So it was from feedback from clients, current clients and prospective clients, who didn't really understand it from a customer's perspective. So I decided to just make things easy, split the business. But what I've found since doing that is that people are starting to become a little bit more aware about what employer branding is, why it's important, and I'm able to complement my clients with both of those businesses. So even though at the start it was to try and define what my offering was to the market, in the last couple of months it's actually gone a little bit backwards, where people are starting to understand what that is.
Yeah, and look, I tagged you in something just today that was LinkedIn has woken up to this employer branding. So tell me, why is that such a passion of yours to get that employer branding right?
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like brands and companies don't necessarily think about when they run their marketing campaigns that they're not just doing it for their customers, they're actually doing it for prospective employees as well. And I think there needs to be a shift in the thinking that businesses have, that it's not just about customers anymore. Prospective employees are looking at you just as much as what customers are, and your messaging needs to be consistent. You need to use the same fonts, the same colors, the same look and feel needs to be delivered to your employees as what needs to be delivered to your customers. And that might sound really, really easy and really simple, but often for big organizations, HR and marketing are two very, very separate business units, and they don't normally get to talk about collaboration or joint initiatives. If there's a recruitment or an attraction strategy that needs to be done, normally it sits within HR and marketing doesn't get involved. So the reason I love it is because I've worked in HR, I've worked on attraction strategies, and I love being able to have that little bit of creativity that the marketing side brings into it. But also while still being able to satisfy my compliance side, while being able to stick to a company's brand style guide. Like I said, their logos, the look, the feel, the colours, all that type of thing. So it allows me to use that creative side and my creative thinking, which I wouldn't normally get to use in a very, I guess, sort of general HR type role. I'm also studying digital marketing at uni at the moment, which is amazing. Probably one of the better university studies that I've actually undertaken. And everything that I'm learning, I'm just being able to apply back to an employer perspective and from an attraction perspective. Simple things like websites. You know, you get some organisations and their careers page is completely different to their corporate page. It doesn't need to be like that. And I think there needs to be a shift. And with the competition for talent at the moment, and that LinkedIn article saying that roughly 41% of employees are going to be looking to move, why are people going to want to work for you? So you need to start as an employer thinking about these things and initiatives that you can start doing to be attracting employees that you want in the future.
So, you know, small businesses kind of have a bit of an edge in this space because they don't have the big marketing and the big HR teams behind them saying, oh, we're going to do this. Like small businesses, small to medium businesses have a little bit of an edge that they can come to someone like you and say, I just keep getting, you know, rubbish candidates. How do I pull something together better? And really reflect that messaging and that culture of their business through all aspects of their digital marketing as well as their attraction strategies for staff, right?
Yeah, that's right. And I get, you're right. Being a small business, you've got that flexibility where, you don't have massive departments. So there is that ability to work within that business to ensure that you're meeting both your marketing targets and you're also meeting, your employment and your labour demands. Even things like, you know, if you post a job ad on Facebook or you post a job ad on Seek, the messaging and the language that you're using needs to be consistent to what you've got on your not corporate, but your small business or your medium business. Sorry, I've worked for corporates. For your small business or for your medium business, because everybody, businesses exist because they're normally following a passion, right? And that passion needs to come through not just from a customer perspective, but also from a employee perspective. And a lot of the interviews that I've done lately, the candidates are interviewing the business owners just as much as what the business owners are interviewing the candidates. So I guess employers and small business owners need to be really aware of the messaging that they are giving to candidates, to prospective employees, and how they want to be positioned as well. You know, what do they value? What's important to them? Does that align with the candidate or the applicant that they're looking at bringing on board?
So tell me about the clients that you work for. So right now, you were just mentioning that you've been helping some clients interview some prospective employees. So what sort of clients are you currently working for? Big, small, and how are you helping them in that space?
Yeah, so at the moment, I'm doing everything from sole traders to state government. So my work is everything through from industrial HR, so doing award interpretations, employment contracts, job descriptions, making sure that companies, businesses are adhering to legislative requirements, right up to the state government work where there's lots and lots of legislation that needs to be adhered to in terms of recruitment processes. So yeah, a lot of my work is around the employment of people, especially for small businesses. So I'm a referral partner for Business Advisory Southwest, and I'm getting a lot of work from businesses that are scaling up. So they're starting to bring on their first employee, or the business itself is looking at going from a sole trader or a partnership and moving over to the federal system and being a company. So business owners aren't necessarily sure of the change in the obligations from going from a state industrial relations system to a federal industrial relations system. So a lot of my work is around that, about the HR compliance, and making sure that they're not going to get in trouble. But I do have some, I was going to say fluffy, that's not what I meant. I do have some, work that I find quite rewarding. So I'm doing some, I'm a business advisor for a local arts business. And I'm also managing a few companies' social media platforms at the moment. So various industries I'm doing that for. So mostly actually in health and wellness. I don't know why. That just seems to have been what I've attracted. And a lot of work seems to come from word of mouth as opposed to my own campaigns and my own strategies, which has been it's good. It's fantastic because it pays my bills and it keeps the work coming in. So I think especially down in the Southwest, it's really important that if you do find somebody that provides a service that they're really good at, we need to be referring them on. I think we all need to be helping each other down here instead of looking at each other as competition. We're in the Southwest, we need to be helping each other out. So that wasn't
100%.
part of the question.
100%. I'm so with you on that, and I am. I think the Southwest, we have so many incredible businesses, and it's wonderful to now have your business, really thriving in our region as well. So tell me, what is next for Margaret River Consulting and Apricot Inc?
Good question. I guess the volume of work is starting to get quite big, so I'm looking at bringing on some subcontractors, and I guess just getting my name out there, having people be aware of where I am and what I'm doing. I am based in Cowarama, and I'm not one of those people who's adverse to driving, so I'm more than willing to travel throughout the Southwest to meet people. And I think it's often important as well, especially for some of the HR work that I do. You need to have that. I think sometimes you need to have that face-to-face contact to make sure that you're on the same wavelength, and you've got the right energy with people to be doing their work. So, what's next? Bringing on subcontractors, building work, and I'd love to have some employees in the next couple of years. That would be great. If there's any aspiring HR professionals out there, please let me know. Get in contact.
And if you are looking for someone to look after your HR and help you onboard someone, or look after some digital marketing things that you need and get that messaging right, Helen, give her a buzz, have a chat. I know we have a few people across the Southwest, and as Helen's mentioned, it's really wonderful to make sure that you click with the right person and you get that right energy. Maybe that's a bit woo-woo for some people, but it's a strong thing to get that right connection, and it makes working together a lot easier. So Helen, any parting thoughts on Margaret River Consulting and Apricot Inc. and where it sits in the Southwest?
I think we're going to touch on it in regards to employer branding. I think people really need to start being aware of what that means, how it affects them, and understanding that every interaction with a customer is a potential interaction with a future employee. So we need to change our mindset around that and start being aware.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We will put your details on this video, so you can get in touch with Helen and have a chat with her about your needs for your business. So thank you so much, Helen, and we will talk to you maybe in a year and see where you're at with those subcontractors and employees.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.